I think Fire Emblem tier lists suck.
When you're presented with a Fire Emblem tier list, all the units are there neatly ordered from S to E rank. But what does this actually mean? Are the ones at the top the best and the ones at the bottom the worst? But best at what? Best at beating the game fast? Best at beating the game in an LTC setting? Best at taking your time to train them up and use every resource on the map? Are they best at player phase, enemy phase? What if they have a niche? For example, a cleric surely is S tier at healing other units, but the pre-promote paladin is F tier because they can't heal other units. What difficulty were they playing on? Do they have any proof behind what they're saying? I can't be alone in clicking on a Fire Emblem tier list and just thinking, what were they trying to say? Some of the placements are always baffling to me, and that's because there is a lack of context. It is impossible to provide context for what you're talking about when you just have a still image. Oh, but Speedwing, that's why you need to watch the hour-long tier list videos. Ah, well, while I do agree that they add a little more context, there is now a man behind the mask, so to speak, and you can kind of think, okay, I know this guy knows what he's talking about, let's see what they think. But it's not as simple as that. Now, not everyone does this, but the majority of these tier list videos are just the still image of the list, while someone drones on in the background going, oh, yeah, actually, Seth is really, decent, so I'm gonna put him in S tier, man. There's rarely ever any actual footage, or growth rates, or discussion. The problem with tier lists is that they are too streamlined. Now be honest with me, tier list enjoyers. How many of you will click on a tier list video with a humble time of 2 hours 30 and just click straight to the end to see what placements were made? This is the big thing about tier lists, is I don't think they're actually a good way of rating units or talking about anything that's important, but rather they're just a way to say, hey, look guys, I think this unit's good, and for other people to go, oh, I also think that unit's good. It's like a sort of tribalism. And don't even get me started on tier lists from games from over 20 years ago. It's done. Game over. They have been discussed to death. You are not going to suddenly send tremors throughout the Fire Emblem community by placing Trek into B tier. It's just not going to happen. Rather than having tier lists be the metric for talking about units, I would much rather see someone do direct comparisons of units that actually fill the same niche. Fire Emblem is a game all about niches. You're going to want to have units that fill certain roles. You need an axe fighter in order to counter lances. You need to have a tanky unit to soak up hits on enemy phase, maybe pull aggressive mobs towards them. Gotta have a healer. Gotta have a way to heal your units and use useful staves. So rather than a tier list of every unit in the game in one big list, it's actually a lot better to say compare characters like Mulder and Natasha. I mean, as I said that out loud, I realised it's basically just boils down to which one do you prefer for the most part, but you get my drift. And that's also just kind of a big part of these tier lists, is it's just a vehicle for people to say, oh, my favourite character is definitely A tier, guys. When I gave them every resource in the game, they carried for me. Actually, guys, this is why Baruka is so good, because I do this very niche thing with her. Wait, that's me. Wait, that's me. Oh no. So basically, Fire Emblem as a whole is not a difficult series, really. There isn't a desperate need to have rankings for every single character, and based on who's the best, who's the worst, oh my goodness, oh my gosh. Unless you're talking about very specific circumstances, such as who performs best in fixed growths or LTC in terms of reaching certain thresholds and clearing maps within a certain amount of terms. But if that's the case, then specify that on your tier list and we are golden. So yeah, that's my rant about tier lists. It's been bottling up inside me for a while. Let me know down below what you think about tier lists, and do you think there is a better option? Do you agree with me that maybe it should be more niche focused? A direct comparison of units that fill the same role, rather than just, here's everyone. Take from this what you will. Until next time, I'll catch you later.